Hi there! In this presentation, we are going to tackle about Krashen's hypothesis of the second language acquisition. There are 5 central hypotheses made by Krashen: the acquisition learning hypothesis, the monitoring hypothesis, the natural order hypothesis, the input hypothesis, and the last one would be the affective filter hypothesis. Krashen is the most widely known for his comprehensible input hypothesis, which suggests the learner acquire language by taking in and understanding language that is beyond their current level of competence. The acquisition learning hypothesis is a hypothesis that is formed part of Stephen Krashen's theory of the second language acquisition. Up next is the monitor hypothesis. The acquired linguistic system initiates utterances when we communicate in a second language. The monitor hypothesis maintains that the conscious learning can function only as a monitor or editor that checks and repairs the output of the acquired system. It means that we may call upon learned knowledge to correct ourselves when we communicate. We have 3 conditions that limit the successful use of the monitor. First, there must be a sufficient time for a learner to choose and apply a learned rule. Second, the language user must be focused on the correctness or on the form of the output. And the last one would be the performer must have known the rule. A major criticism of the monitor hypothesis is that Krashen relegates language monitor to a referral position in a language acquisition. Up next is the natural order hypothesis. What the natural order brings us about this process is that the acquisition of grammatical structure occurs in a predictable order. However, it does not happen in the same way as well as in the first language acquisition. In the context of classroom, teachers should be aware that the chosen sequence to teach grammar. The input hypothesis. According to this hypothesis, the result of the acquisition of a second language are related to the input that the acquirers receive is exposed to. The students should always be exposed to a highly more advanced level of understandable input so that they can achieve even more fluency in a second language. And last, but not the least, is the affective filter hypothesis. The main idea of this hypothesis is that there are affective filters that can directly interfere in the acquisition process of a second language. Such a filter can bar or facilitate the action of the understandable input. So the importance of the acquisition process, also the action of this filter, varies according to the attitudes of the acquirer, because their attitudes will determine the level of the force that the affective filter will have. The main affective variation pointed out by Krashen are related to motivation, self-confidence, and anxiety.